Hi friends, did you make your pictures for math? So here's my pictures. I hope that now you have 4 boxes with 7 balls, 8 ducks, 9 stars, and 10 fish, because this is what we're going to use for our math lesson today. I wanted to remind you that subtraction is the opposite of addition. What happens a lot of times in kindergarten is that friends forget that subtraction is the opposite. So they're very, very comfortable with addition, and they know that I can take some and I can take some more and I put them together and I make a bigger group, right? Well, with subtraction, it is the opposite. So in subtraction, you start with the big group and then you take some away and you see what's left. So that's the secret to subtraction, and what you want to do is practice a lot with food items at home or with Legos or whatever you guys want to use. Just practice the subtracting and taking away to see what's left. The more you do that, the more comfortable you will become with subtraction. So I pulled out some of the marshmallows that we had for our geometry that we used a couple, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I pulled out some marshmallows. So step number 1 in subtraction, job number 1, count all of them, okay? So I'm going to take my marshmallows, I'm going to count out how many I have. So I just poured some out from my bag into my hand. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my first number in my equation is all of them. And for that, I'm going to grab this little sticky piece of paper here. So my first number is all of them. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my first number is 6. So in subtraction, you start with all of them, the total first, okay? Then for step number 2, I'm going to take some away, okay? So here's my 6 marshmallows, and I'm going to take away 1, 2. Okay, so I just pulled 2 marshmallows out of my pile. So now I'm going to subtract, and a subtraction sign looks like this. It's just a dash. I'm going to subtract 2 for the 2 that I took away, and I'm going to eat them. 1, 2. Good. All right, so now if I started with 6 and I take away 2, now my last question in subtraction is what's left. Number 3, what's left? So I'm going to look and see how many are still there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my equation is going to be, I started with 6 minus, or take away 2 because I ate 2, equals 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in subtraction you start with all of them, you take some away, and then you see what you're still left with. Okay? So you can practice with some food things at home to help you get more accustomed to subtraction. All right, so let's go to our pictures that we made earlier today. Let's start with box number 1 with the balls. So what is step number 1? Step number 1 is to count all of them, and I want you to circle them. As you are counting them, please circle them to make sure that you count them correctly. I'm going to get a different color pen so you can see. Okay, all right, so I got my pink pen, and I'm going to count them by circling them. And I always tell you guys, mark as you count. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there is what I did. I just marked all of them by circling all of them. This is important to make sure that you don't leave any out and that you count accurately, because what a lot of kids do is they miscount and then they get the answer wrong in subtraction, and it's not because they don't know the concept, it's just because they weren't attending to precision by counting accurately. Okay, so my first number is all the balls in my equation. So I circled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my first number in my equation is 7. That's all the balls. Count all of them. All right, step number 2, we're going to take some away. So I circled all of them first. Now to take away, I'm going to X them out. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to take away 3 balls. So with you can use whatever color pen you want. I'm going to use my black. I'm just going to X out 1, 2, 3. Okay? Can you see that? I just crisscrossed 1, 2, 3. I just took away 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, with my equation, I'm going to put minus 3. That's my second number. Okay, minus 3. And then equals, and then my last one, my last step is what's left. And so I'm going to look to see how many are still have circles around them. And that's going to be my answer, the difference. Okay, what's left? So let's take a look. How many still have circles with no X's? 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer is 4. So I read my equation 7 minus 3 equals 4. Okay, guys? Let's do the ducks. So we're starting out with this many ducks. And how do I know how many? I have to count, and I have to mark them as I count them. Here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? I counted them, I marked them. I know that my first number is all of them. So I'm counting all of them. So I had 8 total. So 8, and then minus sign. Now I'm going to take some away. So did you write your 8 minus is your takeaway there? Now I'm going to ask you to crisscross or take away 2 of the ducks. So crisscross 2, 1, 2. All right, so I started with 8 total, and then I crisscrossed 2. Now you can crisscross these first 2 like I did, or you could do these 2, or you could do the last 2, or you could do 2 in the middle. It doesn't matter as long as you crisscross 2. So my takeaway is 2. I crisscrossed 2. So I started with 8. I subtracted 2. 1, 2. Now I'm going to look to see what's left. So step number 3, what's left? This is the answer. So what still has a circle around it that I didn't crisscross? All right, let's take a look. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ducks that did not get crisscrossed. So my answer is 6. So my equation reads 8 minus 2 equals 6. Okay, guys? Because I can still see 3 plus 3 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so my answer is 6. All right, let's go down to the stars. How many stars did I draw? I don't know. I can't remember. How will I know? What's my step number 1? I have to count all of them. And when I count them, I have to mark them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Can you see that? I circled all the stars, and my first number in the equation is a 9. I'm starting with my whole of 9, so I counted all of them. Minus. Now, I'm starting with 9, but I'm going to ask you guys to crisscross 4 stars. So you're going to take your marker and crisscross 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I don't care which 4 you pick. You could pick the 4 on the bottom like I did. You could pick 4 on the top, you could pick 4 on the front, 4 on the end, whatever, it doesn't matter, just take away 4. All right, so my equation is, I started with 9 minus 4, I'm going to take away 4, and then what's the difference? What's left? Let's see how many are still there with no X's. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you guys are counting, I want you to touch each one just to make sure that you're carefully counting and not just going 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Touch each one. So my difference is 5. So my equation is 9 take away 4 equals 5. I started with all of them 9. I crisscrossed 4. And what's left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, guys? Last one are the fish. How many fish total? Step 1, how many in all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Friends, it's been a while since we wrote a 10. Do you remember how to write a 10? Please make sure you do it the right way. And when we're writing a 10, what number comes first? Do you remember? 1 first. and then the 0. Okay, here's my number 10. I have 10 fish that I'm starting with, but I'm going to ask you to crisscross away 5 fish. So with your marker or crayon or pencil, you're going to take away 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 minus 5 equals, and we know how to make a 10 with 5. 5 plus 5 equals 10. So we know what this answer is going to be because we know the addition equation. Something plus 5 equals 10. You guys know that from our lunch counts. So let's see what's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our answer here is 5. Okay? So that's our math lesson today, guys. Here's the steps. Step 1, how many in all? Step 2, how many did you X or take away? Step 3, what's left? What's not X'd out? Okay? This is the subtraction lesson for today, you guys. Enjoy it. I hope you have fun with it. And then tomorrow we'll go back into the book and do some more activities in the book. All right, you guys, have a great day.